Hello everyone, Faraway Quarry here. I'm just here to tell you that I hope you had a fantastic New Year's Eve close to your loved ones. And also thanks immensely for all the support you guys have given me all throughout 2024. You guys have been so amazing all throughout my YouTube journey. Let's see what's in store for us in 2025. I can already tell this year is gonna be pretty special. Happy late New Year's Eve everyone, and I have nothing more to say other than thanks and enjoy the video. In the last two videos, we saw my entire Thomas Wooden Railway and diecast finds from 2024, with hundreds of items, spanning from all different eras of Thomas and Friends, and some interesting items to show along the way. If you haven't watched those videos yet, I highly recommend you do. I mean, it's not like this video won't make any sense if you do, but you know, there's no rush. I mean, I think they're good videos. Just watch them already. I mean, what's there to lose? But to keep with tradition, this series is not done yet, believe it or not, as it's time to grab some AA batteries and a screwdriver, as it's finally time to look at all the leftovers. I mean, the Thomas Motorized items that I found. Oh yeah, batteries, woo! And of course, like last time, we have a little bit of everything here. The old Tomy Motorized items, or player for the homies, the Chad Cool Trackmaster, and the Virgin Lane Trackmaster. Now, if you remember the Motorized finds from last year, that was the longest part out of that year's flea market trilogy. And I gotta say, it's my favorite video on the channel so far. And that is due to the enormous amount of stuff that I got, all from the same $40 lot. I felt like I refined my style of content with that one. That video was so special for me. But this time around, this video will be pretty normal. I just didn't find enough to top last year's findings, you know? No $40 lot like last time, no stories of how I got a big lot of items for an amazing cheap price, no Japanese playroll items, and items to fall off the table at will, Lego Duplo trains, a crazy Trackmaster showdown, box sets, glowy trains at night, the race of a century. No, this is just a standard video of all the few motorized items that I found in the last couple of months, and the last few little surprises along the way. That's code for the leftovers. If you are a Trackmaster fan and were expecting a big video like last time, you might be disappointed. As I said before, motorized items are the ones that I buy the least nowadays. Like every time I find a motorized item lot, I think I buy like one or two max, if at all. They are always more expensive than the other ranges I find. And I'ma be real, I doubt that half of these even work anymore. But let's make the most of it and finally conclude this saga of videos. So enough of me rambling here. It's time to finish what I started, and let's look at all the motorized Thomas finds from all different eras and styles. So what's new? Wasn't that a lot of fun? We had some stuff to show, and by stuff, I mean mostly rolling stock, but still, nice finds I guess. I found a lot of items, but nothing that makes me want to soy out, you know? I mean, I don't know about you guys, but finding an orange boxcar isn't exciting to me, and I bet that it isn't exciting for you as well. Or who knows, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe someone is having a complete field day right now. So of course, the individual items are not the part that I want to focus on. It's time to look at all the little interesting surprises I found. Like what, Hugo? Well, how about... Oh, this is a Tomica World track pack from the 1990s. As advertised in the front, it has 4 long straight pieces of the iconic Tomy blue track. Ooh, may I just say that I love this era of Tomy's branding? It truly captures Tomy's charm. I just love how retro this looks. I love it. Like you can tell this came straight out of the 1990s for only $3.99. Of course, Tomy over the years has made a ton of packs selling different track and accessories. Anything from straight track, curbs, switches, road, signal gantries, text files, you know, the usual. They are not necessarily Thomas related. It doesn't say Thomas anywhere. It's just Epic Tomy Track for your Epic Tomy layout. So even though this find is not really Thomas related, I'ma just pretend it is. I would love to have a collection of these packs and accessories in the box, but this will have to do for now. I mean, we can never have enough track, am I right? And looking at the back, it gives you a lovely railway network. Capitalism at its finest. I love it. I wonder how much money and track packs you would have needed to recreate this exact layout. Like, this is just awesome. I never expected to find something like this on my flea markets. A welcome addition for sure. I mean, we can never have enough track, am I right? And like in the last video, I thought my Tomy items at peak. I found an old track pack from the 1990s and all was good with the world. And so started filming this series of videos on a Friday. I'm getting a weird deja vu feeling, you know? As if to say, it ain't gonna get better than this, let me tell you. But literally, the next day, Saturday, pretty cool, huh? So on the same stand I found the Turtle Bluebell from the previous video, I found Bulgy the big red bus in its packaging. Ooh, am I going to open this thing? No, I already have a red Bulgy that I found last year. Like, there is literally no need. This is one of the coolest things I found in years. The packaging on this guy looks lovely. I love how vintage and retro it looks, especially since I've been told that the red Bulgy variant is kind of a hard one to get. I don't know if to take the word for it. Like, I'm not a Tomy expert or anything, but I'ma just pretend that it is. So to have it in its packaging is totally a plus. And you can tell that this one is Thomas related. Like, it says Thomas right there. There's no escaping this one. So yeah, I'm awesome. Having found not just one, but two 1990s Tomica World items, I gotta say, that is definitely a highlight for me. Knowing that these two items were in stores around the same time. One interesting detail that I noticed between these two items is that the back of the Bulgy item has the same image as the Tomy Track one, but it has added Thomas characters in it. I don't know. I thought it was a cool detail to point out. These two are definitely one of the big highlights of my Thomas flea market finds from 2024. I have nothing more to say other than now I want more. So those were all of my Tomy finds. Yes, all two of them. So logically the next section would be the Trackmaster finds, but I don't want this section to end like this, you know? And I really got to pad the video out, so yeah, I have time. These are items. They are items. They are not part of any particular range. They are just some weird Oddball Thomas toys with their own stupid gimmicks. So I'm putting these finds in this video since they really didn't fit the themes of the previous two parts. So I'm putting this section here as a cool little bonus, you know? Even though most of these are not even motorized. I mean, a good chunk of these were made by Tomy anyway, and I think they're still worthy of a mention. We will briefly look at all of them in no particular order, and I will rate them on a thumbs up on a thumbs down basis, depending on what I think of them. So let's get to them already. It's been long overdue. The first item is a push and go Thomas toy. It was made by Tomy in 1997. That's pretty neat. Now this is actually a really important find for me because this Thomas right here was the very first Thomas related item that I ever got in my life. Yes, it even predates the Soda of Celebration DVD by a wide margin. I must have gotten this in the flea market around 2003-ish, and out of all the items that I've sold over the years, that's the one that hurt the most for me. But after years of being separated, here it is. I love the way they designed this toy, by the way. It looks so distinctly retro. But let's address the elephant in the room. The condition of this one is abysmal. Has a lot of paint chips, and the face is covered in dirt. Like, how? No, seriously, how do you do that? I'm impressed more than anything. I guess that's what happens when you have decals like this. They don't really hold up as well with time, as opposed to printing all the detail on the body, you know? So anyway, this Thomas has a push and go mechanism. All you need to do is push the oversized Sergio head to make this item start rolling. Oh man, I just can't wait to relive some memories. And I don't know about you guys, but I wanna see this Thomas rolling. Look at him go! This sucks. I mean, I wasn't expecting it to work really. You can just tell this item has been through some shit. But still, not even by pushing it with my finger it works. Well, that was kinda lame. But I don't care. I'm just glad that I was able to find the earliest Thomas item in my collection again. I don't know, I feel like I come full circle, you know? I give it a thumbs up. No, but really, this is a really great item. I really recommend you get this for a cheap price. Now I just need one that works. Next we have another push and go Thomas. So this is pretty much an updated version of the previous Thomas push toy I showed. It was also made by Tomy in 2004. Nice. And I gotta say, this is a really solid upgrade. Instead of using decals like the previous version, this Thomas has all his details printed on this body. And Sergio even lost some weight. I knew he could do it. And as you can see, this looks leagues better than the previous Thomas. Like, I can actually look at this one without cringing. And this one actually works. Look at him go! I'm having a weird deja vu moment right now, but I just don't know why. So this Thomas gets a thumbs up from me. Just don't put it on the table. You have been warned, my man. Next we have, oh Christ, this is the Thomas Push and Go in its original packaging, released in 2005 during the 60th anniversary of the franchise. This is a thing that exists. It's weird because this item never alludes to being based on a particular episode, but I'd say this is loosely based on the season 2 episode A New Friend for Thomas. That classic episode where Thomas takes Trevor to the seaside and together they help to build a new harbor. Oh, let's see, fans, eat your heart out. I don't see many people talk about this episode. I mean, yeah, compared to other episodes, it's such a nothing story, but I just like it a lot. It's my comfort episode, what can I say? It's a short, nice slice of life episode with some pretty cool visuals, I will say that. I just love that harbor set. I mean, it's such a wholesome story that Thomas just refused to change expressions through it. That is really commendable. Let's address the elephant in the room already. The condition on this thing is abysmal. The packaging has a lot of sun damage all throughout it, and you can tell that someone dropped some sort of liquid to it. I bet it was Coca-Cola. It was so disgustingly dusty when I found it, but it's still tolerable. Everything is still readable. Like, I can still look at all the pictures and graphics, and you can tell what everything is. Trust me, it could be much worse. It's a good time to mention that I also found the exact same Trevor that came with the slot, although the string has been snapped off. Small world, huh? And by the way, I also found this Thomas, which I thought it was the same Thomas that came with this package one, but it isn't. This one has a chopped string at the front, it has a built-in speaker, and uses batteries. So I think at most they reused the same mold for this one. Maybe? I don't know. I'm just guessing. Oh man, I just love conspiracies. As bad as the packaging looks on this one, I don't really feel like throwing the package away. I mean, it's not often that I find packaged items at my flea markets. You see what I mean of buying 2 of each item? And what can I say? I just love the 60th anniversary branded items. What's so 60th anniversary about this anyway? I mean, just look at it. The back even came with instructions. Step 1, pull Trevor. Step 2, let go. And Trevor loads himself to the ramp, and the green tailgate closes behind them. Oh, how nice of them. Step 3, then watch Thomas and Trevor speed away. Okay, but to where though? So overall, this is a pretty solid find. I mean, yeah, I won't be putting this on my shelf. Are you kidding me? But I'm glad I found this either way. It's a good addition to the collection, and I like Trevor. Trevor's cool. I will still give it a thumbs up. It's a really fun addition to the collection. I just wish the packaging was not this abysmal, you know? Next we have a Thomas whistle toy. Ew. If you were ever into trains as a kid, chances are you had at least one toy train whistle in your younger years. And there are a lot of Thomas train whistles out there. I usually associate these toys with Day Out with Thomas events. Look at this kid. He's living the dream right now.
I love Thomas.
Fucking poser. I specifically remember the all wooden ones. As a kid, these were hours of fun. As an adult, I'm like, oh god, I put my mouth on this? This one is made out of plastic and it's Thomas. Well, yeah, kinda hard to mess that up. And to hear the whistle action, you have to blow it on the back. Wait a minute, I gotta say, this thing is a pretty great display piece. It has all the necessary Thomas detail, it has wheels that don't move, and a pretty decent face. I'm pretty sure that this thing is the wrong shade of blue, but I'll let it slide. Now when I first saw this, I thought that this thing was old. It has that 90s Thomas toy vibe to it. So imagine my shock when I found that this item is dated 2009. Now am I going to put this on my mouth and blow on it? Fucking no. I'm never putting this thing on my mouth, like ever. Again, I found it at a flea market. God knows where it's been before. So you'll just have to imagine what this thing sounds like. Call me a pussy. I don't care. I'm not risking my health just for a stupid dumb bit, you know? But even so, I'm still giving this Thomas a thumbs up. If you ignore the whistle part, this thing is a really good display piece.
Hey, here you go. Blow on the whistle. You fucking won't, little nerd. You won't blow the whistle, bastard. You won't blow the whistle. I know you won't blow the whistle, because you're a coward. You're not awesome like me, dog. Blow on the whistle, you nerd. Boy.
Well, what can I say? I crave for social validation. Okay, here it goes. Well, after a trip to the hospital later, next we have Annie. Yes, just Annie. Now, I consider myself to be an expert on Thomas toys, but this is a case where I'm truly stumped. So I looked everywhere on this item, and this thing has no dates, no manufacturer, no nothing. I have no clue what this is. There are no clues as to who made this and why. If anyone watching this video knows anything about this Annie, please leave it in the comments. I might slightly care. But anyway, this Annie has no roof, but it has all the necessary Annie details. And it looks 1990s, you know? So all I can do right now is speculate. If they made Annie, they must have made Clarabelle. And if they made Annie and Clarabelle, then they must have made Thomas, right? I don't know. I'm just guessing. Like, this thing gives me nothing to talk about. And for that reason, this item gets a thumbs down for me. Sorry, I don't make the rules. Another item that is totally foreign to me, it's this Percy. Again, I just don't know who made this and why. This has no date or manufacturer anywhere, but it was made in China. I do know that. But judging by the face and its overall design, this must have come from at least in late 1990s or early 2000s. And I don't know what it is about it, but I like this Percy a lot. It looks really unique to me. It looks like no other Percy in my collection. Like, again, if anyone knows who made this Percy and why, please leave it in the comments. I do care, I promise. But in the meantime, this one gets a thumbs up from me, dog, you total stranger. Well, after that mess, next we have... A choking hazard. This is a Toby and a marketable Thomas boat. That's all I can say. I don't know why this Toby was made, but I remember seeing this in stores since at least the CGI series took over. But I kinda regret buying this, not gonna lie. I think this is the worst looking Toby in my collection, and this thing tastes awful. Thumbs down all the way. It doesn't make for really good steak, you know? Trust me, you'll save yourself a lot of explaining to do at the hospital. As for the marketable Thomas boat, it looks fine. Next we have James the Brains. This one came with a red and yellow flatbed. Okay, this thing just looks weird, man. And again, I really don't know what is up with this one. And let me just say this. Man, I hate it when Thomas toys do this. When the tender is molded into the main body of the engine and it's squished like hell. It just looks really cheap to me. I don't really have much to say. I don't really like how this James looks, but the face is really nice. But I will give it a thumbs up just for that face. It's a pretty good face. Yeah, I know. I'm easily swayed. So yeah, those were all of the weird Thomas items I found. Some oddball items for sure. And they were a nice time waster. I mean, totally important segment that totally makes this video better. I'm not planning on getting rid of them or throwing them away, because I think a lot of them still have a lot of merit, even though I don't know what they even are. But hey, beggars can be choosers. And that should be the title of this video. And with all of these freaks of nature covered, we are getting closer and closer to the end. But there is still one more oddball item I want to show, and I actually know what this one is, and you guys are in for a treat. Welcome back, old friend. So in the last year motorized items, I found a massive Lego Duplo lot. Although it wasn't really Thomas related, it was close enough for me, as I was reminded that Lego Duplo did make Thomas toys and playsets in the mid to late 2000s. I was always on the lookout for finding them, and after years of searching, I finally found a small little lot of them. The pieces include 3/4 of the Thomas model, the flatbed piece for the troublesome truck, and the Sir Topham Hatt figurine. Which doesn't really look like him. Like, it's not just me, right? But he looks way too skinny to be Sir Topham Hatt. Motherfucker went to the gym. And with the Thomas partially acquired, I can finally do something I've been wanting to do for years. Ah, that felt so good. So I had the Thomas face piece for God knows how long, and just now found the rest of him. And I gotta say, this Thomas brings me so many memories. Like, I've forgotten just how cool this range was. And I think this will be a good stepping stone to invest time in finding these items again. Like, look at this Thomas. Doesn't he look amazing? Like, look at the face. Isn't that neat? It might have taken me years to finally have a complete Duplo Thomas, but hey man, it was worth it. Welcome back, man. I missed you. Now I need to find literally everything else. By the rate I'm going, I should have everything complete by 2045. That video is gonna be fire. So yeah, that was a great Duplo Thomas find. And with the Legos finally covered, we are really stretching the finishing line. But before we get to look at the grand finale, we have 3 more items to show. The first one being interesting, to say the least. All I'm saying is, it's gonna take me a lot of balls to look at the next section. Lovely. These are Thomas balls.
Good night, everybody.
This is just bizarre, man. Like, who in their right mind thought of doing this? I don't really know. So I looked it up, and it turns out that these are called the rail rollers. And they came with this contraption. And as far as I know, Mattel made 7 or 8 characters in ball form. My oh my, that's a lot of balls. It's really weird because for being children's toys, they are actually quite hard and stiff. It's almost like rock hard, you know? Really ballsy move on Mattel's part, I gotta say. I guess that it's neat that I found these. I've been growing tired of not having the balls to tackle this section. What? There's no double meaning here. It's just some nice round circular Thomas balls. Now that I've shown you my balls, oh my god, we are truly balling right now. You wish you were as cool as me, but it's just a shame you don't have the balls to do so. I'm way too immature to continue this section. Let's just move on. Next we have these things. These are Thomas suction cup thingies. Now I'm not sure when these were made and why, but just looking at them I can tell they were made around the CGI era, you know? I'm really trying to make this video interesting for you guys. Please don't click away. Yeah, you can really tell that I'm really scraping the bottom of the barrel for content. But even so, it's really neat that I own these, I gotta say. But I don't have anything more to say other than that. I'm putting these on my car windshield. Next, we have this Thomas plate thingy, courtesy of my dad. He found it on the website not too long ago and thought it would be a cool thing for me to show you guys in one of my videos. And yeah, this is not an officially licensed Thomas product. I mean, I'm pretty sure this image is AI generated, but still, it has a very special place in my heart because it came from my dad. Love you, Dad. And so yeah, with those items covered, we are only one step away from the finale. What a journey this was. But we have one more thing to show, and I think you guys are really gonna like this one. Really cool, huh? So in the last year's Motorized video, it seems like all eras of Motorized Thomas history were covered in that one. From Tomy to Playrail to Mattel's version of Trackmaster. But the OG Trackmaster was weirdly absent. I just didn't find anything related to the OG Trackmaster that time. But this will definitely make up for it. This is a Trackmaster Track Pack released in 2007 by Hit Toys. I found this at Facebook Marketplace around January for 150 pesos. And I gotta say, this is one of the coolest things that I've ever found on that site. You see, when it's not not just superstations, Facebook Marketplace is actually pretty dope sometimes. As you can see, this track pack is quite meaty. It has a little bit of everything inside. Straights, curves, switches, risers, even those rare elusive track adapters. The lid at the top even doubles as a track platform piece as well, and you can have it as part of your layout. That is really neat, and this thing has all the pieces. Trust me, I counted. And it even has a handle for easier movement, so you can take this thing to your wedding night. I love how you can tell that this was released in the first 2 years of Trackmaster. It has that elusive cancel flip face Gordon and Percy on the packaging. Remember what they took away from us. And man, I love this era of Trackmaster branding. Hit Toys were so committed to making this rebrand as high quality as possible. The pictures and graphics look lovely and so eye-catching. It even gives you layout ideas, and wow, nice layout. And this thing looks in fantastic condition. It's almost brand new to me, and I know you guys are just begging for me to make a layout with these. And the moment I got this, I just knew that I had to make some sort of layout for the video, but wasn't sure if this would be enough to make the bit interesting, you know? I mean, I sold most of my Trackmaster track in the past. It's perfectly serviceable, don't get me wrong, but I just wasn't sure if it was enough. You get me? But just when I thought my Trackmaster finds had peaked, let's just say that I underestimated myself massively on how much track I could find before the deadline. And thus, the floodgates were open. Really cool, huh? This is a lot of the OG Trackmaster track. Ooh, a little bit of everything was found here. Straights, curves, switches, and more. Just look at this ocean of brown plastic. Isn't it beautiful? I feel like a kid at Christmas right now. And I usually don't like to bring up the prices in these videos, but this lot of track cost me 50 pesos. That's dirt cheap. Long ago, I got rid of most of my old Trackmaster track, and in the span of a year, I more than made up for it. That's the power of flea markets. You can start or rebuild your collection from scratch anytime you want. All you need is a bit of will and money. And with this lot of brown plastic covered, we have finally reached the end of our journey. 3 videos showing my Thomas flea market finds spanning 30 years of Thomas merchandise. And combined with the track pack, I bet we can make a visually stunning layout with these. I am a master layout builder after all. I knew this degree would come in handy one day, but I know what you all would like to see. So for this year's grand finale, let's see what epic layout I can make with all of these pieces. Yes, including the Trackmaster track pack. No hooks, no tricks, no anything. Just a nice montage of motorized items doing what they do best. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the noisy plastic gears and wheels going to town. 3, 2, 1, go! Wasn't that a lot of fun? And so this concludes my Thomas Flea Market finds from 2024. Thanks a lot for sticking around and supporting my channel. I had a lot of fun editing these videos, and I hope that this series of videos was worth the wait for you guys. I always try to make these videos entertaining for everyone, from the most experienced Thomas fans to the not. But there is actually one more thing that I want to show you guys. This is the last thing, I promise, for real this time. Remember the Thomas pins from the last video? Well, on the same stand that I found those, I also found what I consider to be the coolest thing that I found in years. This is a Thomas lamp. Ooh! Now there have been many Thomas lamps over the years, but none that I've seen that are as cool looking as this one. This one is dated 1993, and this lamp is meant to be mounted on your wall. And this thing looks so distinctly retro. It has that 1990s vibe all throughout it. It is a bit scuffed up, yeah, but this thing still works. I mean, sure, you can see all the scratches this way, but I don't care. This is such a cool display piece. My mom helped me to mount it over my bed, and it is now sitting nice and comfy on my room. Love you, Mom. This is the crown jewel of my recent Thomas Flea Market finds. This is something that I will truly cherish forever. That was definitely one of the highlights of 2024 for me. 2024 was interesting, to say the least. A lot of things happened which I certainly wasn't expecting, and I had a lot of positive moments, but also negative experiences as well. And I feel like a lot of people here can relate. Whether this year was good or bad for you, it's always important to remember the good aspects, and remember to continue moving along and looking forward to the future. Hang in there, buddy. Don't give up. Spending time with the ones who love you back while you're still alive and breathing on Earth. And as for me, I'm insanely grateful for everything. All the support from my close ones, and especially you watching this video right now. Just by watching my videos means the world to me. Happy late New Year's, everyone, and let's see what 2025 has in store for the Faraway channel. With God's grace, I can already tell this is gonna be a very special year. I mean, it's the 80th anniversary of Thomas and Friends. Man, dude, you're so old. Not to spoil anything, but my 2020 finds are really looking up, and I can't wait to share it with y'all after I disappear again for another 4 months. What was that? Call me Wooden Railway Reviews. I only upload a video and then disappear again with no explanation. But before we go, there is a certain project that has been dying to come see the light of day. A project that I poured my heart and soul into. And to show my passion for this franchise, for its 80th anniversary, the time is just around the corner to follow the dream to the land of make-believe. Have you ever thought how wonderful it would be to live on the magical island of Sodor, helping Thomas the Tank Engine and his friends all day long? It would be like a dream come true. If only I could be an engine too.